Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Casts. My name's Ed. Thank you ever so much for joining me. First of all, I hope you can all hear me because I was playing around with my mic settings in what we can only describe as one of the bravest things I've ever done. Bearing in mind the huge problems that I've had over the first couple of weeks of streaming. To change setting, some people would say would be slightly careless. Yes, thanks, Jen. Good evening, Can here. Always a pleasure to see you in the chat. So yeah, thanks for joining me. If you have just joined me from the Artist Colony stream, thank you. If you haven't, it's fully understandable, and you wouldn't know, would you? So, but Ren. People can catch up, can't they? They can catch up on the Artist Colony stream before I introduce you. A little segue into my guest this evening is I'm joined by Serenity, aka Reality Check, aka Sweary Princess, aka head of Ren Community. Head of community. She's the head of community. She's the head of getting in touch with other content creators, getting the word out about Nisei, getting the word out about what's going on in the world of Netrunner, organising, and we'll get onto this a little bit later. Spoiler season. Ren, good evening. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Yeah, absolute pleasure. I'm not going to lie. I did definitely backload the quality of the guests for the weekend, and it is an absolute pleasure, and thank you ever so much. I know Initeris, I know too many streams. Simply the Onion, thanks for joining when the stream actually starts. Yes, I know a lot of people are still over in Artist Colony watching them play Jackbox, but that's okay. We're not out her sound on this. Hello. Oh, are you cross streaming as well? Are you? Not put her sound on. Sorry, Princess. Not put her sound on. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, right. Okay, that is because I was fuck-assing around with settings earlier, but I can fix that. Thank you very much for letting me know. I could not work out why, and this is easy to fix because I just do this and press that one.
I'll just keep talking. Let someone pop in the chat when you can hear me.
Sure. I'm sure they can hear you now. There we go.
Hey!
Oh, look, everyone's happy. I do apologise. Luckily, you haven't really said anything, have you? Yes, no, quite loud. Quite loud, quite sweary as well. I should probably put out.
I am generally quite sweary.
I'm slightly on the quiet side. You're slightly on the loud side. I'll put out.
You actually got quieter when you turned the stream when you started the stream off because we were talking at normal volume.
And when I tested, so loud. Why don't you all turn your sounds down? When I test streamed, everything was fine. We were all good. And the moment that we started going live, for some reason, who knows why, this feels better. I'm glad it feels better. BNBN, thanks ever so much for joining this as well. Good evening, Niteris. Good evening, Gaishi. And I can't scroll because I've got my console over to the left. I am so professional.
I'm a loud person anyway, but I'll try and keep it down a little bit.
It's okay, just whisper gently into my ear. And Cable Carnage. My potato internet can't handle Twitch. If you can't handle Twitch, I'm really sorry. But I will be uploading all these videos onto YouTube. Turn down the resolution. Yes.
That's
whisper sweet nothings
into my ear. Not for you, Ed. You don't need to turn the resolution down.
I thank you ever so much. No, I wouldn't. Ren, rather than me rambling for the first 10 minutes in the hope that people get bored of Jackbox games, would you like to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So I work in IT. I'm a data architect. I'm Nisei's community manager, and in the what little spare time I have, After that, I'm also a DJ, and actually, my son takes up some of that spare time as well, but not much because he's 10 and just wants to sit and play Fortnite all day. So, relatively low maintenance child now. I've been playing Netrunner since ONR days.
So that's what, like, so original ONR's original Netrunner. Jin, thanks for joining. Good evening as well. ONR started 1996, was it? It was about a year and a half after Magic the Gathering.
In 96. I started playing it, I think, in 98, because I was in a student house with 4 friends, and 3 of them all played Netrunner as well. So that's what we would do with our evening. We would gamble who had to do chores on games of Netrunner. So, like, I'll give you a game of Netrunner, loser does the washing up kind of thing.
How long was it before you realised that original Netrunner was completely broken if you had enough cards?
Well, we were poor students, so none of us ever got to that stage. So it was quite good because, you know, we could all only afford like a few data packs a week. So it never got to the point where it was broken. Just strange.
Yeah. I've heard bad things about it. Oh, Cable Carnage calling you sweaty princess. That's very nice.
Only after a night of dancing.
Do check out if you are like me, a big fan of house music, particularly trance music. And we should probably talk about that maybe a bit later on. But do check out Ren's.
I'm disappointed you didn't raid me last night, to be honest. Very rude.
Were you streaming?
Yeah, it's a Thursday, so I stream every Thursday.
Right, okay. When do you stream? Oh, yes, last night was a Friday.
Sorry, Thursday. At this point, I've lost track of what day it is. I stream every Thursday from 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. UK time.
There we go, everyone. 8 p.m. to 11. I think we were still streaming at 11 p.m. Oh, maybe we weren't actually. But we did go on quite late on a Thursday night. It was getting close to Lou Part 2. We didn't quite get there, luckily. And after I turned off the stream, it might have got there. But certainly live it didn't. But yeah, if you're a big fan of house, trance music in particular, Ren is your go-to. It is twitch.tv/Sweary Princess.
That's me.
There we go.
That's the handle that I will eventually be switching over to everywhere online. So at some point you'll stop seeing Reality Check mentioned, and I'll be under Sweary Princess instead. Got to maintain my brand, you know.
Yeah, brand
from the Spin Doctor.
You're talking to the right person on this. Very, very important to have the same branding across everything. Rather than going over 4 names across different formats, it's not the most helpful, is it? So I need to stop calling you RC then.
Well, RC is fine for now because that's what everyone in Netrunner knows me as. So RC is all good. So
let's talk about Netrunner. We're only 15 minutes into the stream. We're doing quite well. How has spoiler season been for you? What have the challenges been? Tell me a little bit about your last 4 weeks.
They have been very tiring. There were reasons why we went to 4 weeks, but I don't think in hindsight, I don't think they were good enough for how naked I am at this point.
Sure.
I will be taking a full week off the internet from this week.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's gone well. The cards seem to be going down quite well, which is not really a surprise considering the art is gorgeous. And they all do cool things. So it's been a generally pretty positive, but they always are, to be honest, because you know it's fun getting everyone hyped up for stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I love to do.
And luckily enough, the community is wonderful and lovely as well. But I
get to share the hype with you lot as well because I don't look at the cards while they're in development. The first I see of most of them is when they get handed over to me as, okay, here's the final text. This is when all the art will be done. I look at a spreadsheet, I dish them up. Me and Mike work through the list and dish them up into groups for articles and community people. And then because they're in a spreadsheet, my brain immediately forgets them. So it's all like pretty new for me when I when the articles go up.
Yeah. No, of course. And I don't know if people know this about you, and I think they should. You're quite a good Netrunner player as well, aren't you?
I would not. I've had my moments, but generally I am kind of like bottom of the top tables. So like I will edge against cuts. Generally, I've had 1 second in a store champ, and that's the best I've ever done.
Oh, really? Okay. Yes, no. I would say top, but certainly top tier of Netrunner players, especially in the UK.
As is legal, I will continue to do okay.
Yeah, I think the last.
Yeah, Ian's right. Like the previous spoiler seasons, we were still writing articles the day before they went live.
Oh my goodness.
And like, so I would hand over articles to editors at like lunchtime, and they would then go up at 8 o'clock in the evening. So yes, this one has been an absolute dream compared to that.
Yeah. I think the overwhelming sort of surprise for me is how, I say surprise, it's the wrong word, but how positive the community's been throughout. I think. Okay, I'll say my point in a different way by asking a question. What would you do differently next time?
Well, next time, what I've said is I'm going to start again from blank slate.
Okay.
I'm not going to. So the last 2 spoiler seasons and this one have all been very much along the same format as we had the first time around.
Sure.
So just kind of like on a, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I think 3 is enough for that now. One of the things that I've said is because we originally released a deadline that we missed, and then we put up another deadline that we missed, and then this is, we came fairly close to missing this deadline as well.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to announce a release date for anything until creative have handed over cards as completely spoiled, it's completely finished. And I'm not even going to start planning anything until we are ready to go. So we're going to just basically throw everything we've currently got in the bin and start from scratch again. I still want to do things like keep the community involved, whether or not we have a community week, or if we drop them over the course of the thing, or we get them more involved early, get them to play some games. Who knows? We're gonna see how it goes. But yeah, this one's been the least stressful of all of them so far.
Yeah.
But we've still got some good ideas, like the augmented reality game that Spencer set up.
Yes.
At the start, I want to do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
More interesting things.
Yeah, I mean,
we're gonna try a little bit of that for pulling in new players, like kind of like drop hints for puzzle around the internet and stuff. Just if that gets anybody in. To answer the question for Jen Hammy, data architect means that I basically am responsible for how all of the data is stored in my company. So I control the data flows and the storage solutions and the interfaces between systems, etc.
Blimey. Imagine if your laptop broke. I'm guessing it's not all just saved on your laptop.
No.
As someone that is very openly not tech savvy, that sounds like a folder that might accidentally get deleted.